Hi first graders, in this video I'm going to be doing today's science lesson with you. Now in Unit 9 so far we have been learning about matter. And if you remember from the last couple days we learned that matter is anything that takes up space. Okay, so if you think about it like anything that God created, that is matter. So anything we can see and even the things we can't see, right? We know that obvious things like we are matter because you can see us, but the air that's all around us that we're breathing, we can't see it, but it's there and it's filling up the room. It's taking up space. Okay, so that is matter. Well, scientists, when they decided that in science we would call all of God's creation matter, they decided that it would be a good idea to break up all matter into three main categories. Okay? Those three main categories are solids, liquids, and gases. And today's chapter, that's what we're going to be learning about. How to tell the difference between a solid and a liquid and a gas and why that matters. So if you open up your science book to on the calendar it says page 339, but we are going to get started on 340 because 339 is kind of the throwback page where we write about what we learned in the chapter. So if you want to open up right now to page 340, it looks like this, and it says here it all matters. So we are going to talk about matter, and more specifically solids, liquids, and gases. And I hope that you will use your reading finger to follow along and hopefully learn something today. All right, it all matters. How are towels, water, and balloons the same? They are all matter. Matter is anything that takes up space. It has mass. Okay? Mass is the amount of matter something has. Don't think mass like we go to church and we call that service mass. This is different. In math and in science, mass refers to the size of something. Okay, so how much space it takes up. When something takes up a whole lot of space, we say that it's massive because we're saying that it has a lot of mass. Okay, so think in religion and in life, mass is a service that we go to worship our Lord and Savior, but in math and in science, mass refers to how much matter something has, how much space it takes up, okay? And matter may be different because there are different types of matter. As I told you in the intro to this chapter, solids, liquids, and gases are the three different forms of matter. Okay, it says in the active reading box there, clue words can help you find ways things are the same. So draw a box around the clue word same. Okay, so it says matter is anything that takes up space. It has mass. Mass is the amount of matter something has. The clue word same is up there right above matter with a question mark next to it. So it says draw a box around that word. Okay, now over here on this page, it says circle three things in this picture that are made of matter. Well, as I've told you, everything that takes up space is matter. So pick any three things you want. You could circle the balloons, you could circle the boy, the beach ball, the fruit, the lemonade, the towels, the cute little floaty dolphin, the swimming pool water. You could circle the mama that's sitting there behind her son or the chair behind her. You pick, it doesn't matter to me. Pick three things on that page and circle them because everything on that page is made up of matter. Down at the bottom here, it says do the math, order by mass. Remember, mass, think massive. How big is it? It says order the objects by mass. Write 1 for the least mass, so that means the smallest. And write 3 for the most mass, which means biggest, and that means 2 would be the one right in the middle. So looking down here, I am going to say that the marker is the smallest. It has the smallest mass or size. So we will put 1 for the marker. Okay, the book is definitely the biggest. That takes up the most space, so it has the largest mass. So we'll put a 3 under the book. And that leaves the paint, which is in the middle between the marker and the book. So for the paint, you can put a number 2. And when you are done with that, let's go to the next page. Dun, duddy, dun. Wow. Not sure why that's sideways. I guess I'm learning as you are. Let's see if I can pause this for a second and fix that. Give me 1 second, boys and girls. All right, that looks much better. All right, so at the top of page 342, it says solid as a rock. A solid is a kind of matter that keeps its shape. Okay, the flip-flops and the towel are solids. If you move the flip-flops or you move the towel, they don't change shape. They're the same shape and the same size, no matter where we put them. Okay, what other solids do you think you might find at a pool party? Maybe the floaties that we float on, they're the same size, or our bathing suits, us, the people, the food that we're eating. The main idea here is that a solid keeps its shape. So you need to keep that in mind. My pen doesn't change shape, whether I, twist and turn it or use it. It's a pen is a pen is a pen. Okay. If I put my pen in a glass, it doesn't fall to the bottom of the glass and take the shape of the glass. It stays the shape of a pen. Okay. Which leads us to lovely liquids. A liquid is matter that kind of flows and it takes the shape of its container. Okay, see, she's pouring the juice into the cup, and while it's in the pitcher, it's the shape of the pitcher, but as soon as the juice hits the glass, it takes the shape of the glass. And if you were to put it in a bowl, it would take the shape of a bowl, and if you were to pour it into a water bottle, it would take the shape of the water bottle. Okay, liquids are matter that take the shape of whatever container they are in. So think a lot of liquids are the things that we drink, right? Water, juice, pop, things like that. Solids would be the glass that's holding the juice or the pitcher that's pouring the juice. So if it keeps its shape, it's a solid. And if it changes shape, it's a liquid. Unless it's a gas, which leads us to what a gas. A gas is the only kind of matter that fills the space in its container. It doesn't have its own shape, and it takes up whatever space it's in. So for example, if you were to put air inside a balloon, it would fill up the balloon. If you were to pop that balloon and let that air out, all that air inside the balloon would fill the whole room. Okay, whatever size the container is that you put the gas into, it will take that shape. Think about smoke. When you see smoke coming off of a fire and you see it floating up into the air, it's filling the space. If you were to capture that smoke into a container, you would see it fill the container. Okay, so gas spreads out to fill whatever container we put it in. We've got some balloons here and some bubbles. Now the balloon itself is not a gas, but the air we blow into it is the gas. The bubbles themselves are not a gas, but the breath we blow into them to make them bigger is the gas, okay? So what kind of matter is inside the bubbles? On the line you should write gas, okay? All right, let's go now to the next 2 pages. Here it says a matter of fact. Write yes or no in the first 4 columns. And in the last column, we'll write solid or liquid to classify each item. So we're trying to figure out based on what we see here. Is it a solid? Is it a liquid? Okay. So the lemonade. The first question says, does it have mass? Well, yes, because anything that takes up space has mass. Does it take up space? Yes, that's what makes it mass. Does it have its own shape? No, because if we were to pour that lemonade into something else, it would take the shape of whatever we poured it into. So we have to say no for that one. Does it take the shape of its container? Yes, it does. So for that one, you should put yes. Okay, so looking at all of our answers here, is it a liquid or a solid or liquid? I'm going to say it's a liquid. So you can either write liquid or put an L in that box. Let's look at the sunglasses here. Does it have mass? Yes. Okay, all matter has mass. It takes up space, right? Does it take up space? Yes. Does it have its own shape? Yeah, so sunglasses are going to stay sunglasses. If we put them in a glass or pour them in a bowl, they're going to stay in the shape of sunglasses. Does it take the shape of its container? No, it stays the shape that it is, so it is a Solid. You could put an S or write the word solid. And the last one is dish soap. Okay, does dish soap have mass? Yes, it takes up space. It has a size to it. It does take up space, yes. Does it have its own shape? No. Right now it's in the shape of that bottle, but if you were to pour it into a cup or a bowl or another container, it would change into the shape of that container. So it does not have its own shape. Does it take the shape of its container? Yes. So all those clues tell me it is a liquid. So you can put an L or write the word liquid on the line. All right, the last page that we will be doing today, now that I figured out how to rotate my pages here, look at me go. Okay, it says sum it up. Circle the objects that are solids. Okay, now we're not looking at the containers that they're in, we're looking at the actual objects. So the goggles are a solid. The orange juice and the water, those are liquids. And then the flippers would be solids. So you should circle the goggles and the flippers. Here it says draw something that is liquid. You can choose any liquid you want. It could be the water from your pool or lake out back. It could be the juice that's in the cup that you're drinking. It could be the pop in mom or dad's glass. Whatever you want to draw, draw a liquid right there. The rain falling down outside. You choose. And number 3, write it. We have a riddle. It says write the answer to the riddle. I am a kind of matter you might know. I spread out and seem to grow. I have mass and take up space. Put me in a case and I fill the case. What form of matter did we learn about that will fill whatever container it's in? If you said gas, you are correct. So on that line, you should write G-A-S, gas. And that is our science lesson for today. I hope you enjoyed learning about solids, liquids, and gases. We will learn more about this in the coming days, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your Friday or Monday, depending on what day you decided to do science. See you later, boys and girls.